If you watched my reviews of the first 2 seasons of The Flying Nun, you know that I have a lifelong crush on Sally Field. That makes me just like a gazillion other guys. But anyway, so after The Flying Nun finished, I was excited when I saw that she had another series because I can't get enough of her. There's just something about that lady that stands out and has since the beginning. I fell in infatuation with her when I was 12 watching Gidget, and that hasn't changed. I would watch her doing a PSA for lint. And one of the fun things about this series, her character's name is Sally, so she didn't even have to get used to answering to a fake name.
I should have realized there was something, well, different about Sally the first time we met.
John Davidson is only marginally an actor. First and foremost, he's a singer, and a good one. You don't make 12 albums if you're junk. He had his own daytime talk show for a while, co-hosted That's Incredible and a few other reality shows. He was also a fixture on several game shows, but he was always on the lookout for chances to sing. He's been on the stage, the screen, you name it, he's done it. He also has a reputation as one of the nicest people in the world. Whoever said nice guys finish last didn't see this show, because this nice guy gets to make out with Sally Field multiple times. There are lots of things I would do for the chance to take his place. Being nice is only one of them.
I was trying to think of some clever opening line to break the ice when she spoke.
Gee, I'm sorry. I'm busy tonight. How about tomorrow night?
If he's not available, I am. Okay, I think I've milked that about as much as it can stand.
How do you know I was going to ask you out?
Oh, well, a girl can tell.
Look, I don't want you to think I'm being pushy or anything. I just didn't want your palms to sweat.
What?
Well, you know, while you were racking your brain trying to come up with a clever opening line so this wouldn't look like a crass pickup.
It's almost as if she knows what he's thinking.
Not that I have anything against crass pickups, but they usually take about 20 minutes or so, and I have to be back to my job in 5, so I thought I'd cut right through the bottom line. Okay?
Okay.
But no, she's just being practical. She wants to go out with this gorgeous hunk, but she doesn't have time to do the mating dance.
Those pins going down give you a rough idea of Sally's effect on me. Oh, I sense there was something offbeat about her, but at the time I thought it was cute.
She says, you're a very good man and you're going to make a very good lawyer. You have intelligence, integrity, and drive.
So how come you're not married?
I don't plan to get married for another 4 years.
Is that just lightly penciled in, or is it indelibly imprinted on your life plan?
I suppose everybody has a vague idea of when they want to get married. Don't you?
Yeah. 3 years ago. I'm a little behind schedule.
I thought I was too. Turns out the right girl for me was in Wyoming and I was in California. We got that sorted out when we met in Montana.
Does that scare you?
No, because right now there's no way I'm going to become emotionally involved with anyone. So that night I became emotionally involved.
That's putting it mildly. These two are head over heels in love with each other, and it just keeps growing the more time they spend together.
Sally,
Yeah?
how did you know what I was thinking?
Don't be silly.
And that was just the beginning.
She keeps telling him what he's thinking and then comes back with something like that. He's a little confused, but whatever is happening, he likes it.
It wasn't hard to love Sally. For instance, she had this uncanny way with people. Now, take the time she came to pick me up at my office.
Hi, honey.
Well, hi.
Oh, does she belong to you?
Yes, sir, she does.
You're a lucky young fellow, son. Makes me wish I was 50 again.
I wouldn't mind being 50 again, but only because all my parts and joints were working properly. He only has this small part today, but Charles Lane is an old friend of the channel. We've seen him I don't know how many times. He took advantage of his resemblance to a buzzard and played who knows how many roles as the mean old man. Of course, in real life, he was pretty much the opposite, an absolute gentleman. And even he fell under the spell of Sally Field.
John, who is that poor old man?
That poor old man happens to be the senior partner of the firm. And that's the first time I've ever seen him smile. What did you do?
I let him pinch me.
What?
Well, it didn't cost me, and it made him feel terrific.
She knew how much it would brighten his day, and she's a giving person like that.
He's very lonely.
He's also a dirty old man.
Yeah. Well, dirty old men need affection, too.
The fact that he wanted to pinch her establishes his dirty old manness, but again, she's a caring person and decided to focus on the loneliness. He's probably lonely because he likes to pinch young girls, but that's his problem.
As you may have gathered, by that time my life plan was shot. So I faced up to the inevitable. Sal, you remember I told you I didn't want to get married for another 4 years?
Oh, John, I do. I will. I accept. I love you. When?
I thought you'd be excited.
The fact that she didn't even let him pop the question should tell him something, but he's too starry-eyed to think about that right now. He's marrying the girl of his dreams. The formalities are over. It's time for the wedding night.
Thank you
For what?
for thinking I'm the most beautiful girl in the world.
As a matter of fact, that's exactly what I was thinking.
I know.
Get the feeling she's trying to tell him?
And that's something we just can't tell, sweetheart.
What?
Mother will always be this perfect. You have a funny look on your face.
That's because something funny's going on here.
I know what the basic problem is here. She's trying to smooth things over, and he's ready to stop thinking about it and make like married people.
Come here.
John, it's going to be so much fun getting to know all these little things about you. John, you bought me a wedding present. Oh, sweetheart, that's so nice of you. Yellow's my favorite color.
Never mind, he may be nursing a broken nose.
Wait a minute.
I'm not supposed to open it yet?
No, you said yellow was your favorite color.
Well, yeah, it is. Didn't you know that?
How did you know that? Sally, you haven't even opened this yet, and yet you knew that it was yellow.
That's because she heard you think about it. See, she can read minds. But that's only half of the basic problem. He's starting to freak out as the truth hits him.
You see, it has to do with ESP. I just have this ability to pick up on things, that's all.
That's all.
Now, don't look at me like I had some kind of social disease.
Sally, now let me get this straight. You can read everybody's mind.
Of course not.
Oh.
Just some people.
It's pretty easy to see that he's a member of some people because she keeps telling him what he's thinking before he has a chance to speak.
What people?
Well, some people none of the time. And then some people some of the time. And a very few people most of the time.
What category do I fall into?
The last one.
Most of the time.
Yeah.
I would hope that was obvious. He suddenly realizes she's known everything he was thinking since the moment they met.
Please don't be embarrassed. I mean, I'm used to it.
You used to what?
Well, to what men think about me when they first meet me. And believe me, compared to some others, your thoughts were like an Eagle Scout's.
That's not helping, Sally. See, the problem isn't just that she can read minds. The other part of the problem is she can't control her mouth. Her life would be a lot easier if she stopped telling people what they're thinking, especially unsolicited. He can't handle this and leaves.
Sally, why didn't you tell me this before we were married?
I loved you too much.
I don't understand.
I know.
Stop saying that.
Please don't shout at me.
What do you expect? Just a few dirty looks?
Look, I was afraid of losing you.
Every time she's gotten involved with someone and they found out about this, they bolted. She couldn't stand the thought of John doing that too, but it's a little too late. She keeps answering him before he speaks. It's too much. He can't handle this.
You know something? You should be arrested for invasion of privacy.
Well, isn't that what marriage is all about? Two people who are willing to reveal everything, warts and all?
I want to be able to pick the times when I reveal my warts.
He has a point. She's direct to the point of almost being mean without intending to. If he can't have a single thought without her hearing it, that makes for a one-sided relationship. And the fact that she doesn't even try to control it, and worse, is always using it to anticipate him and not letting him get out whatever is on his mind, is destructive. She needs to learn 2 words and put them into practice. Shut up.
She's not a normal girl, Sheriff. She's got something extra.
Look, John, I'm your brother. You can tell me anything. Now, what the hell are you talking about?
John explains, and Jerry doesn't think it's so bad.
Quiz shows. The MC would be thinking of the answer when he asked you the question. She'd clean up.
What about other women? I mean, you have thoughts, right, Jerry? You have thoughts, human, right?
I wonder if she's got ESP with animals. She could tell if a horse felt like running.
I doubt it. You probably need Anne-Marie for that. It's great how enough alcohol can get brothers talking right past each other and never know it.
Chess, she could beat Bobby Fischer.
You're right, Jerry. The important thing is that I love her. Thanks for bringing me in my senses. I'll always appreciate it.
Once he sobers up, Jerry may or may not have some idea what he said that was so great.
Had a few drinks.
I don't blame you.
Didn't work. When I sobered up, I still loved you.
Make it sound like a toothache.
That's the thing about alcohol and other drugs. When you come down, the issues are still there. The only difference is now you have a hangover and feel like crap. What an accomplishment.
Sally, I'm really scared. Everybody talks about a totally honest relationship, right? But how many people really have to live with one? I mean, what about all the little lies and deceptions that we need to keep any relationship, let alone a marriage, going?
I'd like to hear some examples of what he means. We never had anything like that. We both knew that being truthful and open with each other was the way to go. When we divorced after 30 years, that didn't change. And while I didn't go out drinking to excess, I eventually came to realize that whatever had been happening, whatever had gone under the bridge, the bottom line was I loved her. More precisely, we loved each other. I can tell John from experience, you're not going to escape the fact that you love her, so just go with it.
At the beginning, all marriages are unexplored territory.
Right now, my mind feels like it's covered with your footprints.
That's why we're lucky in a way.
Lucky.
They don't need all the lies and stuff that he mentioned. The truth is, nobody does. If someone thinks they have to lie sometimes to keep their marriage going, I don't have high hopes for that marriage. She says most women don't marry a man. They marry the image of a man that he's projected to them.
Let's not kid around. Everybody acts like an 8x10 glossy when they're dating, and then later on when the makeup comes off, they say, hey, you're not the man I married at all. I married you because I know exactly who you are. No illusions. That's the man I fell in love with.
Sally Field is tearing your heart out right now. Look at that talent. This is a sitcom, but this scene could bring tears to your eyes.
It's not going to be easy. Getting used to having you inside my head.
Then we're even. Because I've got you in my heart. That's a good idea.
He'll have to deal with some performance anxiety, but I think he's got it figured out.
Well, there are several different facets to ESP. There's your clairvoyance, which is the knowledge of information not known to others. There is your precognition, which is knowledge of future events. There is your psychokinesis, which is like mind over matter.
You mean like what he's doing with your mind and matter right now?
And I don't have any of those. Then there is your telepathy, which is like thought transference. John, if this is going to be a true learning experience, one of us is going to have to concentrate.
That's what he's doing. He's getting her to concentrate on something besides what's in his head, and now he's ready to roll.
Somebody has a rotten sense of timing. Hello. Chair, look, we're not interested in appearing on Let's Make a Deal.
Remember early edition? Chuck was always wanting Gary to use the paper for personal gain, and Gary always refused. I get the feeling Jerry's going to be one of those. It was a common character type in sitcoms. Roger Healy was the same kind of guy in I Dream of Jeannie. The greedy guy makes a nice foil for the good guy. All in all, this was a good pilot. We know everything we need to know about both of them. We have the situation. We know what direction we're going. The jokes were kind of few and far between, but there were some good ones and the promise of more. Today we were laying the groundwork. Initially, the show was put opposite The Odd Couple on ABC and a sitcom called Rollout on CBS. That one lasted all of 12 episodes, and suddenly our show was competing with Good Times. Then The Odd Couple got moved and our show was competing with The $6 Million Man. Those were both well-established, super popular shows, which kind of left The Girl with Something Extra in the dust. Did it deserve to be limited to only one season? Beginning next time, let's find out. Being almost mean without mean, I can say mean. No, I didn't say just go. The guy in I Dream, yeah. Early edition, Gary, crap, come on, get the right name.